this is one of my favourite Emily's. For a start, it just has beautiful colour, and she's used what's called her dub-dub technique. And apparently, she gets a brush, mixes colour on the brush, and applies it to the canvas where it gets mixed again. And she had a style where when she pushes the brush into the canvas, it spreads the bristles and ends up looking like one of those beautiful little bush flowers. So that's how she gets the flower effect on all her canvases. And apparently she whacked the brush so hard into the canvas that she could be heard 2 rooms away when she was painting. Very big hands, Emily, very powerful woman. Thought a genius by everybody who saw her paint or who knew her. This painting, she said, this is everything, this is the whole lot. And Emily started doing that because at first there were problems with painting some of the things out of the Aboriginal law because the elders didn't quite approve. So she quickly moved to doing everything the whole lot, so she wasn't giving anything private away. But once again, she's bringing all the different things from her 3-dimensional living life and putting them on a 2-dimensional plane, which is radical for an Indigenous person. It's a radical shift in paradigm. But this is beautiful, the way she blends the colours on the canvas, mixing one colour into the brush before another one's entirely gone, and getting the transitional hues as well. And really interestingly, as the light changes in the day or at night, this painting changes as well. In some lights, these parts here go back very, very deep, other bits come to the front. Certain colours glow, others recede. Then if the light changes a little bit, something else happens. So I knew someone who had a painting like this, and she took it home and put it above the television, and her husband and she sat on the couch. Well, he watched the television and she watched the painting as the light changed through the house. But this painting is very beautiful. She has the colours of the ochre cliffs, she has the colours of the land, the flowers, the clouds, the seeds, the water, everything, the whole lot, as Emily would say. Beautiful painting. It's the sort of painting you can stand, watch, and you can just dream, and it will take you away. And so many people say, I just sat there and I really don't know where I was for half an hour, because the painting will take you somewhere that's just between you and the artist. That's the special thing about her work. It's very hard to pick a favourite looking around this room, but I think this would have to be mine. It is a bit girly, but I like it a lot. As you know, Aboriginal artists largely paint from an aerial perspective. Some people say they do astral flying as a kind of a natural phenomenon. Some say they just know every little centimetre of their land so intimately that they can paint it from above. This painting, abstract like the rest, is up to you. It's what you see in it and what you get from it. For me, it's when the desert is flooded and when in between the sand dunes there's water lying, the big pelicans fly over, creating white dots and creating an interesting 3-dimensionality. Just as an abstract work, this painting plays with your head a little bit, certainly plays with your eyes. There's a lot of depth here, and if you focus on the dots, you'll find some move towards you and some move back, or are they moving back and the others forward? It's a very interesting spatial work that really holds your attention for some time. Others see this work as a field of flowers, with the white, pale yellow flower heads dotting against the serene sky of blue and the pink of the sand. I still prefer my water and salt lake kind of theory, because in the desert, salt lakes do take on a pink hue where they're dry, and when they're dry and shallow, and a deeper blue where they're deep, and white where they've dried out completely. But it's open to you, or you can just like the colours. This is a completely different painting by Emily, one of her famous yam root paintings, and you can appreciate this painting on a whole lot of different levels, as you can all her other works as well. Just black and white, is it? No, not really, because there's very, very subtle tinges of pink in here, and you'd think that wouldn't make any difference at all, but it really does. And also she moves the brush so that the paint moves from opaque through to transparent, through to small tint of pink, through to thinner, thicker, and she controls that brush. Even though it looks like it's random, this is so not random. She controls this brush through every stroke on this painting. And so it all pulls together in the most amazing, intricate web. and yet nothing is out of place. You can look at that for an hour and you'll see nothing that looks out of place. What's more, if you look at it for an hour, you'll go beyond the simple surface pattern that it appears to be, and you can see all sorts of very interesting things in there. You get feelings from the painting. That's probably what I think Aboriginal art has that makes it one of the most powerful and beautiful art forms that has ever been created. There's a spiritual level and dimension to Aboriginal art that is absolutely undeniable. It's only available to people who spend time with the art, but you will feel, if you spend time with a painting like this, a palpable connection with, I think, the Aboriginal people, or at least the spirit of the Aboriginal people. In here you can see and feel so many things happening, but I leave it up to you to do that because it's a very personal thing. A lot of people come into this gallery and say, oh, the feeling in here is amazing. It just feels wonderful in this gallery, and that's because of the spiritual essence of all the paintings around. They do have a collective effect, and they bring that effect to your home as well. And just as an aside, the highest goal of our gallery is to bridge the gap between the black and white cultures of Australia through art. We're not that keen on the government's methods of doing it, or anybody else's that's to do with regimentation or control. We think art speaks to the Aboriginal people more eloquently than anything else, and we respond to it. And so we notice when people that have an Aboriginal painting, they start to open up to the Aboriginal people, the respect grows, curiosity grows. Next thing you know, they're off up to Alice Springs or somewhere to try and get closer to the source. And paintings like this started that whole connection between the peoples, and I'm hoping that paintings like this will continue to build and build and build that bridge till we are a more united country. Emily.